Hola amigos de la Hora del Vértigo, Stairway to Rock, ¿qué tal? Estamos una semana más aquí y bueno, en esta ocasión siempre intentamos rodearnos de buenos músicos y de gente de eminencias. Tenemos con nosotros a Andrea Ferro de Lacuna Coil, ya que van a sacar su próximo disco. ¿Qué tal, Andrea? Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros.
Hello, hello, all good. Thank you. I'm very excited to be here and thank you for having me and to talk about Sleepless Empire and everything Lacuna Coil.
Y por supuesto con Jordi, así que bueno, si quieres empezar tú.
Bueno, yo diría que tengo, mira, sí, me gustaría enseñar. De la Lacuna Coil tengo mil cosas, les he visto 9 veces, tengo merchandising de todo tipo, antiguo, y he podido escuchar poco todavía el disco, pero me gustaría, ha habido 2 singles, Gravity and Oxygen, y te quería preguntar qué tal la recepción de prensa y de fans hacia estas canciones.
Yeah, I mean, so far we had pretty good reactions. Oxygen is a bit more of a heavy songs, and probably the most heavy of the record, I think, or one of the most heavy of the record. And Gravity is a bit more a mix of a more of a gothic vibe with some more rhythmical parts. But I have to say, so far they've both been received pretty well. And all the songs we released so far have been doing pretty well. And also the reviews of the album that I've seen so far has been very good. Today we had the one from Kerrang in the UK, and it's like pretty good and like 9 out of 10 or 4 out of 5. And Metal Hammer UK also really good. And all the ones I've seen, they've been very positive, more or less. And so hopefully everybody's gonna like the record. It's quite an intense album with a lot of darkness, a lot of metal riffs, metal parts. So hopefully there's a little bit for everybody. We have a new song coming out this week called "I Wish You Were Dead" as well before the release, and a video as well.
Ah, no, perdón, sí, en español. Habéis publicado 5 canciones del disco en enero. No entiendo muy bien esta estrategia de publicar medio álbum antes de que salga el álbum.
I think that's more of a record label kind of question. It's not really our own decision. It's I think the way music business is nowadays, most of the band they do this because it's the streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. They need to have constant flow of songs before hyping up an album. So it's more of a reason for marketing the music. It's not like obviously for us it's the same to listen to one song after the other, or if you listen to the old thing it's fine. One song I have to say never done, also because it was a song that we got requested for the promotional videos of a game, of a board game called Zombicide White Death. And so the song has been recorded on its own even before we record for the rest of the album. We went to the studio just to record that one song, and it came out a lot earlier because it was for the game. And then from there we keep working on the other songs and then release the other songs later on.
Háblanos un poco del concepto del disco, porque siempre, Lacuna Coil, especialmente últimamente, en cada disco hay una estética, hay varias cosas y aquí. Te quería preguntar especialmente por el título del disco, Sleepless Empire, y por la portada, porque seguro que hay una conexión.
Sí, sí. We always try to do a complete package between the title, the cover, the way we're gonna dress, the way we're gonna use the scenography live, the videos. Everything needs to be in the same style for us. And we usually start from the title of the record and an image. Especially Marco, our bass player, which is the main songwriter for the band, really needs to focus on one image to start the flow of the creativity for the new record. And we found the title Sleepless Empire because it comes from an observation of the society as it is today. the fact that we are living super connected all the time. We spend a lot of time on social media, we have a lot of offerings from streaming services, video, audio, gamings, and there's a lot, but very often we feel like people is still very stuck like zombies at home looking at this phone instead of living the real life. And we also include ourselves because we also are part of this society, and we also spend a lot of time on social media, on internet. So it was just an observation. So we have this huge empire, but we are like sleepless. We never sleep. We're always connected, but we don't sometimes take advantage to use it to live the real life even more, you know. And sort of that was the basic observation behind the concept of the album. And then every song is sort of a different story. Every song is inspired by a more personal story that then we try to write in a way that everybody can relate and can find their own meaning for the song, you know. But at least there is always an idea behind every album. Like in a movie, you know, you have one story and then different characters, but there's a common story that goes along.
Yo he reseñado ya el álbum también en Stairway to Rock, si la queréis leer está en castellano. Y he leído también, creo que no soy la única que está de acuerdo en que en este disco podemos escuchar tanto influencias de los orígenes de Lacuna Coil como los sonidos más nuevos. ¿Esto ha sido intencionado o ha sido completamente lo que os ha salido, digamos?
No, it's not been. I mean, we didn't realize it. I think the fact that before starting to work on Sleepless Empire, we did the 20th anniversary of Comalize. So we did a sort of a remake of the original album, and we went back and revisit the way the old album was, and maybe that kind of inspired us to bring back some of the original atmospheres from records like Comalize or that era of Lacuna Coil, but has been unconscious and not like we've made on purpose. You know, I think it's something it happened because we kind of refreshed the past with that record, and then we brought it in the new ones, but without doing it on purpose. You know, I think in general we always been a band that kind of uh, tried to develop every album a little bit different than the one before. You know, but I think we do have a certain trademark, a certain style that you can always recognize of Lacuna Coil, no matter if it's heavy or not heavy. The way me and Christina sing, the way we use the voice, is always recognizable, I think. So that's maybe also another reason why you can feel a little bit of the. But a lot of people is saying this about the vibes from
Sí.
all the story of the band. Yeah.
Dicho Comalize, me gustaría preguntarte si este es el disco que un poco cambia la historia y que pone a Lacuna Coil arriba y consiguen hacerse un nombre.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure is the most important record of Lacuna Coil, especially of the beginning of the history of the band. You know, I think Comalize is the one that has made us from the little metal band coming from Italy into the more international successful band, especially in North America, but everywhere more or less. And has been bringing the band from normal level to a much higher level of band. So it's definitely the first record that really made our history moving forward into a bigger dimension. And a lot of people is still very attached to that record because it's the one that a lot of people discover the band with Comalize or Karma Code sometimes, but mostly those two is the beginning of becoming a bigger band, you know.
No, estás muteado.
Perdón, te quería decir, mi disco favorito es Unleash Memories porque es el primero que escuché del grupo. Y mi canción favorita, curiosamente, es Senza Fine, que es una canción cantada toda en italiano y no es algo que habéis hecho muchas veces. ¿Por qué?
Yeah, I think because Italian language it's very melodic. It's very good for melodic music, but it's not so good for heavy music. So compared to English or German or other more harsh languages. So we always struggle to write in Italian because first it's not something we're used to. We grow up listening to international bands from everywhere, but not typically Italian. And so Italian music has never been a lot in our background, especially in the past. Maybe now a little bit more, but back in the days we were only listening to international metal bands, and we started singing in English from the very beginning of the band. But we're not against it. It's just that it's we find it more difficult to write in Italian than to write in English for our music, especially the direction we've gone more heavy with the latest albums. Italian, it's harder to put, you know.
Quería decirte, este EP, hay una canción que es Falling, que yo recuerdo fue vuestro primer éxito realmente. Pero os entrevisté hace en 2002 en el autobús y un poco me decíais que estabais como hartos de esa canción, que no sé qué pasaba con esta canción y tampoco he visto que tampoco la tocáis mucho desde hace tiempo. ¿Por qué Falling, el grupo siendo un éxito, hay un momento que la aparta?
Yeah, because I mean, usually what now in the recent times when we played Falling was always in acoustic, like with acoustic guitars, and we made it as an acoustic version because it's true that it was very famous song back in the early days of Lacuna Coil, but it's also true that not everybody knows those days. You know, those days are for people that has been following the band from the very beginning, but a lot of people came on board with different records, with Comalize and Karma Code, and then after that. So when we play very old songs, sometimes people don't know the old songs so much, you know. Like we try to play My Wings or Falling or some other, and a lot of the crowd they don't know the song because it's too much in the past, you know. So if you have a people that's been following for a long time, of course they know the song. But a lot of the newer crowds, they only start to listen to the band from Comalize on. But with that said, is maybe one day we'll bring it back. You know, it's not excluded. It's just that now we start to have a lot of songs. When we go to choose a set list, we have 10 albums, so we have a lot of music to choose from, and we can only play like hour and a half, 2 hours. And so you have to select some songs, you know, some softer and some heavier. So it's harder to but I'm not excluding it's gonna come back soon or late one show.
Te quería preguntar por la figura de Marco, que es un poco el que siempre está en la sombra. Bueno, su papel en este disco y bueno, supongo que no va a tocar en directo, pero bueno, si nos podías contar un poco.
Yeah, I mean Marco is not a interview guy. He
Ya.
doesn't like to do interview. It's not comfortable for him to do interviews, and but he does a lot for the band for sure. He's making all the music for many years and producing the record as well. Beside obviously playing bass, he plays guitar. He record most of the guitars you have on the album as well. But he likes to create more than to be on the spotlight. You know, he likes more the phase when he has to write, to arrange, to work in the studio, to he is very good at creating stuff. He's always creating something, even when he's not doing music, he's doing graphics, he's doing design, he's cooking, he's playing with Lego. He has a lot of passion that was always very creative. So he's not, but he doesn't care so much about being in a always on social media or always on the spotlight. He's more of a he more like to do stuff than to be doing all the promo and all that stuff. So that's more me and Christina. We do have to do this, and so yeah. But he's very important for the band. I think he's always been the main songwriter for our music, even when we have other people contributing, always obviously to the music. But he's always been the one that makes it a Lacuna Coil song, that makes it like something that has the trademark of Lacuna Coil from the very beginning. So he's a very creative person, but he's also has his way of work, which is more isolating from the others, you know.
¿Es esta la razón por la cual durante muchos años Lacuna Coil no lleva bajista en directo?
No, no, we always had bass player. It's just that sometimes Marco was injured. He had a lot of problems on his arms, and he had to skip maybe three, four tours of all the ones we have done for this reason. So instead of replacing him, we have put two guitars instead of having a bass. So we put tracks on the bass, but with two guitarists in the front. And sometimes he still has the injury. It's not very good. I mean, it's okay, but the more he grow old, the more he has a little bit of injuries here and there. So sometimes he has to skip the tours. But in the recent times, finger crossed, he's always been doing well and doing all the bass playing. So hopefully he's gonna stay like this.
Quería decir,
Eh, Perdón, dale, dale.
bueno, no, perdona, una casualidad, bueno, una anécdota. En el autobús de gira, en el 2002, os dije si había una influencia de Depeche Mode en Lacuna Coil y me dijisteis tú y Cristina, si Marco le decimos esto, se enfadaría. Y al cabo de unos años hubo una versión de Enjoy the Silence de Depeche Mode.
Yeah, yeah. Marco was never the big Depeche Mode fan. Well, it was always me and Christina, and but I think he did a great job with the when we did the cover for Karma Code of Enjoy the Silence. And even Depeche Mode say that they liked the version we did and gave us the permission to shoot the video for free. And so in the end was a very good idea. But he liked the song, but he was never a super fan of the band. He just I think it was a good song and he tried to make the version. And but when we heard it in the practice room, when he came with the music, we thought it was a great version because it really sounded like one of our songs as well. So now we play the song almost every time because obviously it's a fan favorite and it's one of the most streamed song of Lacuna Coil. So we more or less every tour we play.
¿Cómo vais a enfocar los directos a partir de ahora? Porque he visto un directo que hicisteis, bueno, hicisteis 3 conciertos en Inglaterra en octubre y sí que veo que vais los 5 con las sudaderas, con la portada del nuevo disco y veo que Cristina sí que ha abandonado un poco esta faceta de la sangre, ¿no? De un poco el shock rock. ¿Cómo vais a enfocar los directos? O sea, ¿vais a seguir esta estética nueva?
Yeah, we will have some new stage clothes as well for me and Christina. Some new visuals, new effects, and obviously the set list will be a mix of the new stuff, but also the classic Lacuna Coil song that we have to play. And we're trying to bring also some very old songs here and there from the past, bring it back. And but obviously it's evolving. Now we do South America is the beginning of the new album cycle, and then Central America as well, Honduras and Mexico, and then North America with Machine Head and In Flames. So that tour we're gonna start to develop a different set list. And then the more we do it, the more we're gonna change it also for the future, also bring it back to Europe on the European tour, but it's something in evolution, let's say. We start now. Tomorrow is the first day of rehearsal for the tour, and so we will start putting together the new set list and all these things. And but it's something that will develop both musically and also the visual will also change a little bit. But that tour in the UK, we all wore the black suit with the cover of the album because we wanted to promote mostly the cover. We wanted the focus
Ah,
to
ok.
be.
En el disco Karma Code, yo creo que Lacuna Coil hace un giro de sonido y un poco enfoca todo hacia Estados Unidos. ¿Estoy equivocado?
No, some of it, yes, yes. Surely there was different influences than before. Maybe because back on Comalize, we started to tour a lot in the United States, and that influenced us as well. You meet a lot of band, you listen to a lot of different music, so that it becomes part of your influences as well. I think then we always had a little bit of a passion for certain American bands like Korn or Deftones or Slipknot, and even if you don't realize it, but in Unleash Memories there were already elements of American metal and also in Comalize. It's just that we weren't able to translate them really well, and so you don't realize they were there. But all those bands, we were already listening also to a lot of American bands as well. Even when we did Comalize, it was always a mix between the European bands like Paradise Lost, Tiamat, and then Typo Negative, and then Slipknot and Korn, and all kind of metal, Metallica, Pantera, Megadeth, all these. And so we always been in between the two worlds. But I think with Karma, there's been more evident that we took some more influences from American metal. And then also in the next records, I think there's always been up and down some influences here and there.
Vale, es una pregunta, se va un poco del tema, pero bueno, Cristina habla en directo sobre la salud mental, la autoayuda. ¿Por qué esto, no sé, o sea, por qué quieres remarcar esto a veces? ¿Me has entendido?
No, as you freeze for a moment.
Ah, perdón. Dilo tú si quieres. Jordi, es que estás muteado.
Perdón, estoy constipado e intento. No, sí que me he fijado que, nos hemos fijado, Yolanda y yo, de que Cristina muchas veces hace hincapié, resalta lo de luchar contra tus miedos, superarte.
Okay.
Es algo que hace constantemente y lo veo muy positivo, pero entiendo que habrá vivido una situación que la ha hecho superarse, ¿no?
Me,
No, Cristina.
Christina. Okay. Yeah, I think she's always is the kind of person that always has a lot of energy, a lot of positive energy, especially, and she's always for many people she's been a sort of a not an example, but kind of an example to be pushed to be the better version of you, you know. And she's really like that in life. And but it's also in our music. I think there's some darkness, but there's also always a little bit of hope in every song, in every lyrics that we write, you know, because we are like that as people, you know. We're not always sad, we're not always dark, you know. We like to push that negative part of our life into the music, but we also like always to leave a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, you know, a little bit of hope for people because we are like that as people. And Christina is a super energetic person, but also very often she's really good. She works really well and is an example for other people, especially other girls, obviously, because the connection is more easy, you know. But in general, she motivates very often the people. But we like to leave a positive outcome from the music as well, you know.
Cristina o tú habéis tenido alguna vez alguna oferta para hacer discos en solitario?
No, no. I mean, we talk about it for fun, but we never really feel we want to do it, you know, because I see sometimes some band members they do side project that they sound very close to what they do with their band, you know, and that doesn't make any sense to me. You know, if I want to do something else out of Lacuna Coil, it wouldn't be the same. You know, if I had to do same similar kind of music, then it wouldn't be otherwise, it wouldn't make sense if I do another gothic metal whatever band with some other people. That doesn't really interest me, you know. And I think it's the same for Christina. So if she would do something different, probably she would do something very different. But I don't think we have the will to do it. I mean, it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. You need to find other people to work with, and La Curacao is taking already a lot of time in our lives, you know. So to make another side project, it'd be very, very challenging. Maybe one song you can do it, one project. Yes, we've done it, and she's done it. But to do a full solo album would be something very hard, very challenging, I think.
¿De tiempo cómo vamos? ¿Le hago la última o...?
Yeah, I think you can do one or two more. Yeah.
Ok, so, joder, perdón, en castellano. Este año no vais a hacer festivales en verano. Sí que es verdad que venís a España en noviembre. Eh, ¿Es esta estrategia de este año no hacer festivales, esperamos veros el año que viene, es lo que tenéis en mente? Luego ya puede pasar cualquier cosa. O...
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Vais a
Doing
hacer gira,
festival?
no vais a hacer festivales este verano.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
¿Os veremos en festivales el año que viene?
Yeah, 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 for sure. Yes, yes. We're only doing a some festival in the summer, but not too many because then we have the European tour coming in
Sí,
October. So we didn't want to do too many. But the year after we will do more for sure. Once the album is out and the cycle is started, then you do more festivals, more other shows as well. But at least we come to Spain. We do more than one show for this time, so we're really happy about coming back to Europe because it's been a while since we've done club shows in Europe. It's been since 2019, so it's time for us to come back and visit more cities and
sí.
and and that what I think it's a good way to restart touring in Europe.
Os esperamos
Dino,
en España con ganas.
dinos el primer disco que te compraste con tu propio dinero.
That's I don't I don't know. I know the first metal vinyls that I had was AC/DC, Let There Be Rock. Like my cousin sent it to me. Like he bought it for me and he gave it to me, and that's my first metal record. It was, but I didn't buy it with my money. I got it as a gift, but it was my first real metal record. And then I bought the T-shirt, the AC/DC T-shirt with Angus Young in the front. It was my first metal T-shirt that I bought.
Dos cosas. La primera, para finalizar, eres del Inter, ¿no? Veo. Inter de Milán,
No,
¿no? Es que ya no veo.
yes, Milan,
Tu,
AC Milan.
tu camisa también, más o menos. Vale. No, no, parece que va bien el equipo.
Vale, pues nada.
Que vaya muy bien.
Ciao, ciao,
Adiós.
ciao.
Chao.